Here it is, boys and girls. Here it is. Season 2022 Grand Final for the AFL. It's finally here, gents. It is finally here. And a man could not be happier about it. Been a bloody long road to get us here. All the way through the year, we've seen 16 teams, fortunes rise and fall. Just two remain in the quest for premiership glory for season 2022. I am Rich of the AFL Armchair Advisors. Thank you for joining me for our final show of the year, in which we are going to preview the living hell out of this grand final. We're going to tell you everything that you need to know about who's getting it done, who's going to have a blinder, who's on notice, bets, tips, predictions, the whole box and dice. It's all right here, sports fans. Joining me, of course, is my main man. It is Sensible Dan, who suffers from the most bulging bank account you've ever seen on account of his mastery of statistics and all things ball related. How are you, Dan?
I'm feeling good, mate. Really, really good. I was a bit disappointed Friday night. That was an absolutely shocking game of football. But Saturday renewed my invigoration for it, and I'm ready to go. Grand final week, baby.
I wasn't it just? And weren't we saying it all year? Collingwood was going to run out of tickets to spend at some point.
Absolutely.
They were going to run out. Speaking of running out, let me throw it over to our global field correspondent, Desmond Van Bus, who has run out of vril, of his life energy. He is completely exhausted, spent. If Dan's suffering from a massive bank account, then Des is just suffering from
massive peanut. From
the pains of life and just going through existence. He's more hungover than any bloke I've ever seen. Any bloke I've ever seen. There are attics that have been closed off for the last century that are less dusty than this man is right now. Des, it's our final show. You want to put your wares on display for the punters who are coming to watch us, get around us every week. You've rocked up looking, dare I say, horrendous. What's the excuse?
Bad day.
That's it.
Bad day. But I am so excited for this grand final. Do you see this in the air? See it? Can you see it in the air? See that there? It's actually the Des Tingle. Oh. All right. And the Des Tingle is tingling. It's hard. Rock hard. Ready to preview the granny.
That's wonderful.
Haiku's ready. No
Haiku.
scramble this week because I am off the chain. Off the chain, mate. Not fluffy.
No.
Des.
Man means business.
Oh.
Just admit that there's no scramble because you royally screwed up and got absolutely pulverised last night.
I don't know what day it is.
Thank you.
Bad day.
Bless his cotton socks. Well, look, we might be a man down in spirit. He is here in body at least, which is more than can be said for half of the shows that we've had this year. Thank you to everyone who has joined us throughout the year. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on board. Why don't you just chuck us a little like, chuck us a little subscribe just down there whilst we've got your attention.
Do it for Wakanda.
That'd
Otherwise, you hate Wakandans.
wonderful.
Do you want to be those people?
This
is not the bait to use to get people to do what you want. What are you talking about?
It's actually incredible over the last 2 years of COVID.
Sure.
Virtually none of us missed a single show. And then we get to a year where it's right as rain, can do whatever you like, do whatever you please. And we've all missed shows this year. A lot of them too.
Well, we've had some good times. We went to Singapore and I genuinely died multiple times.
Yes.
Dan had COVID. That was good. Des, you had COVID during? Yeah, that's right.
I had COVID.
Yeah, out with man flu at one point. That was good.
That was the man flu was worse than COVID. The man flu was horrendous in Melbourne. Oh, bad day.
It's going to be a good day, though, on Saturday. Let us leap into it without further ado. We are looking at the AFL Grand Final on your Saturday afternoon, 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at the MCG, the home of football. It is the Geelong Cats hosting the Sydney Swans. Now, Dan, please open up the discussion on this one. Give us some initial thoughts.
All right. My very initial thought is that this game is going to be awesome. Yes. I actually genuinely think it's going to be a really good game. The last 10 times these two have played each other, Sydney's won 5 times, Geelong has won 5 times. So we're looking at two teams who over the last 10 meetings have been exceptionally evenly matched, and I don't think it's going to be any different here. Last time they played, Sydney won 30 points.
Buddy.
It was Buddy.
Buddy
Bowl. 17 goals, 5, 107 played, 10 goals, 17, 77.
At the SCG?
It was at the SCG. Brad Close kicked 4, Isaac Heaney kicked 5.
Not bad. Not at the SCG though, Des.
It is not. And look, you can't expect Geelong to be that inaccurate again. There's just no way. Jeremy Cameron kicked 3 behind straight. Tom Hawkins 1 goal 2. Danger, Smith, Stengel all singular behind. So you'd like to think, from their point of view anyway, that they'll be a bit more accurate this time around.
Well, that was round 3? Was it something like that?
Round 2.
Where a lot of water's gone under the bridge at that point.
Yes.
Geelong, since then, gone on that rampage. They're coming into this 15 straight wins for the Catters. Swans, no limp ducks themselves. They're coming in on the back of 9
Absolutely.
straight. So certainly nothing to sneer at. I liked your 5 wins apiece stat from their last 10 meetings. The 10 meetings prior to that, Desmond, what's the split in terms of Cats, Swans wins?
I don't know how to answer this question.
5 apiece. 5 apiece.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Over 20.
Over 20.
I'm teasing.
Wow.
Nah, it's when you look, I think Melbourne dropping off has actually been the best thing for this game because I'm so excited. They're the 2 best teams of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So and it's always nice when you get to watch grand final and it's the 2 best teams.
Strongly agree. And look,
some scrub coming in, some port.
Well, you talk about some scrub. Look, there is the potential, as there is every grand final. There's always heartbreaking stories about blokes that are going to miss out. Going to do a little injury watch at the minute. Now we're looking like Reed for the Swans, adductor, very likely.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Very, very likely that he misses with that. And you could just tell the look on his face last night. He was not a happy boy.
Genuine shame as well, like literally a big out. But yeah, genuine shame. Like he's had a bit of a career renaissance this season. He's looked really good. Been injury free for most of it, which is more than you can say for most of his career. And gets to the final hurdle and adductor as well.
Of all things. Yep.
Real rough.
So, look, Longmire holding the cards to the chest. They'll do the scans during the week and see how he gets on. But realistically, I'm not expecting him to turn up.
No.
Not dissimilar with Max Holmes for Geelong on the Geelong front. Big Johnny Ralph at Fox, he reckons that he's not done a hammy. He reckons that the scans are in. Hamstring's fine.
Didn't they say nerve? They said nerves, eh?
It's where, look, take all of that with a pinch of salt. Believe nothing until the team sheets are listed.
Don't they just bum the 21-day rule as well with the hamstring injury? Ever since Jared Healy said it once, all the commentators, every time someone does a hamstring, that's 21 days. Oh, that's 21 days.
2 to 4 weeker.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
So it's unfortunate that
Maxi,
that
though.
Holmes genuinely could look like he misses. He's been a real bright young spark in that Geelong midfield. You'd like to see him get up, but I suspect if Geelong continue to be Geelong over the next decade of his career, he's going to get another bites at the apple.
You'd think.
O'Connor in for Holmesy.
Mark O'Connor, you'd have thought so.
He's back.
You are battling so bad.
Look at him. Look at his face. Look at his face.
All right. I need to make myself feel better. So
Go on,
I'm
then.
cutting you off.
Sure.
And I'm doing a haiku.
Oh, no.
I need to get in the zen.
Right into it.
I need to detox myself. And I'm going to tell you what my prediction is straight away. I did that because I had to, not for the haiku. That was just because
It wasn't for effect. It was because you're going to die otherwise.
Yeah, genuinely,
for
yeah.
breathing purposes. All right. Grand final. Can't wait. Swans will pound the poo sheen. Geelong RIP. Swannies are getting up. I think they're going to pressure the Cats too much.
Good gravy.
Cats, when in big moments, Geelong are not the ones to stand up. And obviously, there's a time where you can sell that narrative. You can sell that narrative and people will say, oh, but Geelong been the best team all year. I don't even care. Swannies, mate. Swannies, pressure,
I don't dislike
pound,
it.
Pusheen. They had a bigger test last week, yesterday, which was perfect because that test going into the Grandy is much better than just pounding like training cones of Brisbane. You know? So that test, I think that's going to be good. I think that's going to be fantastic for them. Their body's going to be perfect, really.
Yep.
With the injuries, like you mentioned with Reed and Holmes, they've both got one out. So it's not like any team's going in undermanned. Swanee's going to pound them. I think Swanee's going to win by 23.
23 as well.
23 on the knuckle. I love that.
That's
Good.
bold, but I don't dislike it. That was actually one of my points about the Catters. They've really only had one test in the last, say, 6 weeks of footy, and that was the Collingwood game. Outside of that, it's just been brushing would-be tacklers aside, as the great man would say.
Turn up, smack and move on.
Exactly. And, I think Sydney is absolutely going into this game more prepared in terms of that pressure.
Interesting you say about pressure. I do have a few stats just to throw into the pot, fellas, for your consideration, if you don't mind. Geelong leading the league, first for possessions. They are currently second in terms of marks, sitting at 8th in the league for disposal efficiency. Also first for goals, which you wouldn't be surprised at considering the star-studded forward line that they're currently repping.
That actually surprised me that they're first for disposals, though. Because really, most weeks, no one's getting 30. For the Cats.
But it's such an even spread.
Oh, it is,
and that just speaks to their system. It's such an even spread. Throwing it around. You can't lock down a Neil or a McCluggage type because they just don't have that bloke that they're relying on so very much. And I found that quite interesting. Sydney, though, first in the league for tackles.
Yes.
Sydney, third in the league for marks, right behind Geelong there, and they are 9th in the league for disposal efficiency, so right behind the Catters on that one. Swans also first for inside 50 efficiency and tackles inside 50.
Yep.
So if they get a sniff, there's a hell of a likelihood that they're going to get something out of it.
Correct.
And if not, they're going to lock it in and mangle you until the
Absolutely.
ball's getting spat out.
Yep.
Desmond, does that sway your opinion?
Nah, it doesn't, because I'm looking back here. I'm looking back all through Geelong's whole year. Since July, they've only, since they, we'll say once they beat Melbourne at home, they've played 2 top 8 teams. Like that's not, they haven't actually been tested as much as other teams. Swannies are winning. Swannies win the flag.
Gents, is the weight of expectation on Geelong, does that play a factor here? Or are they too well drilled and skilled a unit to worry about the expectation of going in hot favourites?
I mean,
They hate that. They hate that.
they have over the journey. They have been favourites in this position, in this exact position before, and not been able to get over the line. And I've got it written down here. I do think they are a genuinely different team. Like everyone keeps saying it. I think they are absolutely a different team this time. I said it to you when we were watching the game on Friday night. First quarter, they looked like classic Geelong in a favourable position. Started shitting the bed. Out on the full, skill errors are all across the ground. And I thought, actually, Brisbane might genuinely be a chance.
Almost had to cut you. Snip.
Well, yeah, that wouldn't have been happening. But anyway, I was actually thinking Brisbane look a genuine chance of stealing this game. Then the Cats just put the foot down. And in previous years, they have not managed to do that. They haven't been able to get out of their own heads, and it's affected them for 4 quarters. Second quarter came out. That was it. Good night.
Well, it also did help them that Brisbane did not fire a shot whatsoever. Did not fire a shot. I could list on the fingers of one hand the amount of great plays that I saw from Brisbane when the game was still there for winning. That gave me the thought, the belief that they deserve to be there as a team. And from what we saw, totally.
They shot the bed.
They did,
hard.
And they didn't. They're just making up the numbers, unfortunately, this year.
Yep.
I thought that Danaher coming back, unpopular opinion maybe, I thought Danaher coming back was a bad move. They were agile. They were unpredictable last week, the Lions, without Danaher. And without McInerney, they probably could have been better off keeping him out. But forget Brisbane.
You're never going to bring Danaher. You're never not going to bring Danaher back.
It's a bold move, because then if you lose and you kept him out, and it's like, well, why'd you keep him out?
You absolutely, you look like a numpty. Now, the last time these two played, I wanted to get your opinions on this, because Sydney did dominate last time. It was totally uncharacteristic of Geelong. Apart from the inside 50, Geelong were peppering them, and the Sydney defence just held up strong. The McCartan boys are freaks back there. Do you think they'll be able to withstand the pressure this time? All
right, well, look, let's have a look at the realistic sort of lineup. So you've got 2 McCartans, they're just going to switch on and off of Cameron and Hawke at some stage. Are you going to put a Rampy on a Stengel? Or I would potentially put him on Rowan, who's all of a sudden decided he wants to play good football in the last couple of weeks. Interesting. Who does Lloyd go to?
Yep. My opinion is, like, Ryan Clark is going to be in this team, and he's going to be tagging somebody. I would actually be tagging... If it was up to me, I'd be tagging Tyson Stengel. I reckon he's probably the barometer in that forward line. And,
dangerous.
And if he starts getting going, it could be...
Bad day.
It could be a real bad
That's
day for the Swans back line. So I'd be trying that first. Stewart, he was pretty ordinary.
He was.
On
16
Friday
touches?
Night. Yeah, somewhere in that vicinity. Clark went to Nick Dacos last weekend. Just gone. Absolutely toasted him. I don't think there's any need to tag anyone in the Geelong back line. I reckon you go to the forwards.
Is he a noted goal kicker, though?
Who?
Clark.
We did last week, but I'm saying you go to Geelong's forwards. You play lockdown.
Oh, okay, I'm with you.
Play lockdown on Tyson Stengel. That's what I'd be doing.
Well, and they do that well. And that's an unrelated point, but it's kind of similar. But Swannies are going to do so well on Saturday because they don't have that. Well, obviously, Buddy's a star, but they don't have that star player. They don't have that danger. You know what I mean? They don't have that star. They're all team. They're all that cohesive unit. Very similar to like Richmond. If you take that when they didn't have Dusty, they didn't have that one standout player.
Yeah.
Well, look, O'Connor for the Cats went and did a hatchet job on Neil and McCluggage. They were well held, those blokes. Now, you can make an argument for sticking a tagger on Luke Parker. I think he's going to handle that a lot better than what Neil would. And outside of that, you could possibly make an argument for sticking a tagger on Mills, but realistically, why? I mean, he's a defensive mid himself. He's not a line breaker. I'll tell you someone who is a line breaker, Patrick Dangerfield, who is getting a big slob from the media all of a sudden.
Absolutely.
I think JB said something like he's back to his damaging best, Dangerfield, on the weekend. Is 57% disposal efficiency? Is that what you would say is
that's par for the course
for Danger? Yeah, it is. But look, 28 touches, 2 goals, can't knock it. I did see a lot of out on the falls though from that individual.
Yeah, absolutely. But even so, like some of those disposal efficiency is literally just getting the ball forward, which you don't want if you're the Sydney backline. The less you have to deal with it, the better. But that's for me. That's a job for Callum Mills. You wouldn't be sending, say, a Ryan Clark to him to put a lockdown on it. You just Callum Mills put the hard word on him.
And indeed, and I'm expecting to see a bit of a similarity there. Now, some other stats just to throw in there. I hope I've got this one right. I read it, and if it is wrong, please let me know. But supposedly the Swans have only won something like one of their last 15 at the G.
Bro, that could be very well right.
Wow.
Sounds a bit off though.
Because
it
does.
No, they haven't because they obviously beat Melbourne at the G twice this year. So
there you go.
That's horse.
There you go. Well, there you go. It's bollocks, which is why I brought it to this forum for the Mandem to discuss.
I'm checking that now.
Please.
You know, I've got a. It's because I'm not doing a scramble today. No. I've decided that we had some fun last week.
We did
with the hair.
We did.
We appreciated the comments. They're very funny. The tattoo on the bum is funny. Also,
that was actually hilarious.
I'd love that.
So I've actually not. I haven't spoken to either of you about this, and haven't even gone behind your back.
Oh, good. We're improvising. Sure. No. Okay.
But I've got. It's the Des Multi.
And I do not like the sounds of this in the state he's in either.
That
brain is not working.
Des Multi. It's the Scramble Special, we'll call it.
Sure.
All right. It's not about money.
Okay, sure, fine.
If these 3 legs come off, and they come off, I get to cut Dan's hair in the haircut of my choice.
I think he's got to agree to that.
The advisors have spoken.
I'm not agreeing to that.
No, he's not. He's not ever going to agree to that. Well, he likes his luscious locks.
Well, he
loves
hopefully the multi loses then.
What's your multi?
All right, Swannies to win.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Buddy goal.
Well. Okay. That's $1. Fine. Next.
I don't care. Callum Mills.
What?
5 touches. So if those 3 come off, he's praying for like a Mills ACL now, I reckon. But if those 3 come off...
I've said it to you all week. I'm not praying for anything because it's not happening.
He's so triggered. He's so mad. And that is okay. Regulate, Dan.
Regulate.
Very regulated.
The Swannies.
Oh, sure. Well, look, a few other stats in the Swans' favour here. The best ball movement team in the league, transitioning off of halfback.
Dan's hoping that's the case now.
Second best at defending enemy ball movement, which is, do you know what I mean? So that just goes to that full ground defensive mindset that you talked about. I'm talking up the Swannies here because it's easy to just look at Geelong and be like, Geelong's getting the dub. Look at what they've done all year to just monster teams. But there is a case to be made for Sydney getting this win. Mm-hmm. There is a genuine case to be made.
Absolutely.
I think they're better in big moments too.
Swans?
I just think about if they come and Melbourne gave it to them. Well, if they now I'm all I'm thinking about is come.
Come on, there's kids watching. Gee whiz. Let's go. Come on.
Sorry, fam. Ask your parents. No, I never forgot. Swannies against Melbourne 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whenever it was. That was the best performance I've seen all year. If they come like that when the moment's big, Cats finished. They're not going to match it, and you can't match it for 4 quarters. And Swannies do it for 4 quarters.
Mm-hmm. For what it's worth, Geelong currently seeing $1.54 odds. They win 86% of games that they are listed at that price.
But that's because they've been playing teams that aren't even in the top 8 for the last. It sounds like I'm hating on Geelong.
$1.54 is long for Geelong.
Yeah,
that's long.
Mm-hmm. You think? What
that
should be?
$1.54 would be essentially them playing against a mid-table side.
Mm-hmm.
I would have thought.
Port or something.
And winning 86% of those games is
pretty
handy.
Yeah, I think.
Look, the stats. All I can provide are the stats.
Not Swannies, mate.
Master Des.
Not against the Swannies. They're not though.
Master Des. Gee whiz. Dan, look, I'm going to need a prediction from you, mate. And then I wouldn't mind after you've given me your prediction. about who's winning this one and why.
Mm-hmm.
After that, I would like to get your first goal scorer and your Norm Smith, if you please.
Okay. Look, I've ummed and ahed on this because it's an incredibly tough game to pick. I really want to go for the Swans, and that's who I will be pulling for on the day.
Sure.
However, I am going to tip the Cats. I think they have been the best team in the comp. Sydney a close second. They've been too good for too long. Been the bridesmaid how many times now?
Never the bride though, mate. Never the bride.
How many times has that been the case? And I genuinely think that this time is different. Again, love to see Sydney win. I think if Sydney win as well, just a point to that, I think this will be Bud's last game.
Interesting.
I think if Sydney won, he would quite happily ride off into the sunset.
And if the Catters win, do you see that with Selwood?
Yes.
Danger?
How huge is it? Like the start of the year. Can't believe that.
Because what else does Danger need to do?
I reckon Danger would hang on though.
He's paying $650 to win the Norm Smith. He's a favourite.
Danger.
I don't like that.
He's coming in with a wet sail behind him.
But yeah, Selwood absolutely could. Hawkins, maybe. He's still looking reasonable.
He's in good nick.
But yeah, Selwood absolutely. I think either way, he'll probably call it after this game.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Now, first goal scorer, Tuffy.
Who's he play for? Got him!
Genuine Tuffy. Well, my first goal scorer would probably play for the Geelong Cats. I'm just going to... Nice, easy one. I reckon it'll be Tom Hawkins.
Okay,
yeah,
that's fine.
I genuinely think it'll be Tom Hawkins.
Can I get a Baum Smith from you, please?
Baum Smith. I've got a couple here down in the bet, so shall I just read them out?
Fire away.
Might as well.
It's your show.
I've gone to... I've gone to two shorter odds who make more sense.
Sure.
Two longer odds who you could make arguments for.
Speculative.
Not long. Not like last year where I was tipping Rourke Smith
Sure.
at $151.
What a joke that was. That was great.
Very
yeah,
funny.
That
Very
was
funny.
humorous to me.
Jeremy Cameron. All right.
Okay.
Now he was not. He was not well Friday night, but he didn't need to be. This is the kind of game he would absolutely get up for. Playing in his second grand final, last one was an absolute humiliation for GWS. So he surely want to right the wrongs this time. He's currently paying $10. Pretty fair value. The other one I've got for my short odds is Luke Parker.
Okay.
All right. Now it's a midfield general for the Swans. I don't think they'll bother tagging him because I think the Cats will back their system in. If Sydney get over the line, it will be because of him or Callum Mills through the midfield. Likely, followed up by a couple of the other bottom feeders in that midfield. So I think Parker would lead the way, though. Big game player. Now, speculative.
Sure. I like this one. Here we are.
I've got Tommy Papley.
Oh, I don't mind this.
Now, he's paying $21.
I don't mind that at all.
Tom Papley is...
I thought you were going to say like Oliver Florent or someone like that.
Nah, I'm not going to pick Ollie Florent. Sorry.
Could have been anything.
Sorry, Ollie, but nah.
Sorry, Ollie.
I did say that, yeah. Tom Papley, $21. He's a big game player. He loves these kind of moments and absolutely froths off them. I could see him kicking a bag. I could genuinely see him kicking a bag in this kind of game.
Pappas does put the bloody hog on the table when it's time to put the hog on the table.
Yeah, that's a wonderful image. Thank you, Jess. You had what, three goal two?
He did
on the weekend. Okay,
and again, like he's just one of those players that this would be the perfect occasion for him to stand up and kick five, something like that. The other one, a bit more outside, is Mark Blitzarves.
I just looked at that.
Now,
$41.
He's paying $41 at the moment.
Boy, oh boy!
And early on in this season, he was red hot. He was having a huge start to the year. It sort of cooled a little bit, but depends what they ask him to do. He's a literally a jack of all trades in the league. They could send him back, could do a lockdown job on Bud, could keep him in the ruck, could play him up forward. Who knows?
The ultimate swingman.
Absolutely. And look, $41 odds. I reckon it's worth a pop.
A fiver.
It's worth a fiver.
Yeah, chuck a queen on it.
All it takes is a massive game from him, and he's absolutely capable of them. $41.
It's not like he doesn't stand out.
That's pretty tidy from you, Dan. That's a very nice summation. I'm going to throw it back over to our resident shaved chimp, suffering from alcohol-induced CTE. Desmond, your thoughts on this game in a nutshell, please. Some final thoughts for the punters, and then I wouldn't mind a first goal scorer and a Norm for yourself.
I'll go me Baum Smith. Yep. Baum Smith first. I think I've made it clear. Swannies by 23. It's going to be a good contest, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm actually in Sydney for this game, so I'll be. Not that that means anything.
No, you better be dumping content.
I'm excited.
I want to see big content.
There'll be hog on the table. So for the Norm Smith, what when they're this is a question, by the way.
Sure.
When you look at the player, they're the best player on the team, right? What is the best player? Numerically, the best player is number
What, one?
one.
Sure.
Who's number one for the Swans? Chad Warner.
Big hog Warner.
$18. Chad Warner. Oh, I'm frothing at the pan. I froth Chad Warner hard. $18. Man, when he gets rolling, everything that he does, and I like him because everything that he does, you notice it. And who picks him, not umpires don't pick Norm Smith. Who picks Norm Smith?
Oh, they'll have a team of
It's a
like
selectors,
5.
yeah.
Yeah.
Even better, because they're going to sit there frothing at the pan at Chad Warner, big number one. Goes outside the ground with his boots on. Man doesn't care.
You could just see it though. Like the selectors will have no idea what to do if Bud kicks 5 and Danger has 30 and 2 goals. Like, they'll have no idea what to
Heart
do.
attack.
Joint winners.
Yeah, they'll have nothing.
But
Yeah.
I've got a little roughie.
That would be funny. I'd love that.
So would I.
The Des Ruffy though, because if you look back when Jack Gunston should have won, kicking all those goals, when he kicked like 5
When was
years
this?
ago,
I was gonna say.
years ago. Well, when they won their 3
Sure.
in one of those years, Brian Lake,
Yes.
Paddy McCartan, $34. If it keeps getting fed in there, and Paddy McCartan plays like he did against Melbourne, played like he did even the week before. Oh, when he gets rolling, it's
like
not just it's like a
defenders
once in a
are speculating,
generation type deal.
If he
But
said Bobby Fox, I'd have been worried.
What if he shuts down Hawkins and just absolutely rolls over the bloke?
Yeah.
That might be $34.
And there is a bit of a narrative there already.
and he's
isn't
very
there?
good, and he is actually a lot better than I remembered, and he has lifted like.
To be fair, this is the best output he's ever had.
Yeah, it's
Ever has.
fantastic.
Much better as a
Fantastic.
defender than a forward. Not that he was awful as a forward, he just couldn't stay on the park. But that narrative is well and truly there.
Oh God, yeah, it is
well
alive.
and truly
It
there.
is alive and
and
kicking.
obviously, look, as I said, we were having a bit of a joke about Bud and Danger, but it's absolutely worth putting a bit of money on Bud.
Why the hell not?
Currently paying $21, I think. Have you got it up?
Yeah, buddy, he's 21.
Yeah. If he kicks a bag and the Swans win, it doesn't matter if anyone else has 50 touches.
Greatest showman.
He is absolutely getting the medal.
Great showman.
And
They'll be
for-
screaming that
for
narrative
first
from the rooftops.
Absolutely.
Yeah, first goal, please. What do you reckon?
First goal.
Yeah, mate.
You have a look.
Yeah,
Odds,
mate.
odds are actually fantastic.
Yes, they are.
I'm going to say so myself. And I'll ask another question. Well, when your medals are involved,
Yeah.
when you come first, what colour's the medal?
Gold.
Errol Golden. Errol Golden. $26. Errol Golden kicking first goal.
This is mentally sort of the imagery he was able to put together, the narrative he was able to sort of weave, significantly.
I think someone like one of those little fellas, like you see, Brian Myers, I think he's paying like $23. I think someone like that is going to kick first goal this year.
It's interesting. So he had
A
what,
little
20 and
sneaky
2?
one. A little
On the-
scrambler.
22 and 2, yeah.
They were 22 and 2, probably his best game ever.
One of my points, I didn't really put it in there, but he has become like a bit of an important link man for the Geelong forward line. Like he's always the one pushing high. Him and Close generally tend to do it, but yeah, 22 and 2 is massive.
Great. In a prelim, that's great. And I genuinely think I'm tipping Geelong here to get the win. As much as I've admired the progress of blokes like Golden, Warner, Rowbottom, Florence, these younger... Stevens, another one that throw in there as well, who have all come on in leaps and bounds ahead of their time, realistically. I think the Swans... Blakey is another one, especially off of halfback, massively. The Swans have got, 9... Swans have got 9 players in their starting lineup who are 23 and under. So the fact that they've come on as well as what they have is really a credit to them. But it's not just them. You're stacking that up against the bottom half of Geelong's starting lineup, who are now all of a sudden contributing week in, week out, and it's taken the pressure off of your Selwoods, off of your Dangers, off of your Guthrie's, off of your Duncans. They don't have to run around. Like Mitch Duncan, in terms of like numbers, like raw numbers, this is one of his lowest performing seasons. But he hasn't had to worry about it. No. They've been able to play Selwood off the bench and use him as an impact player, knowing full well that it's not going to be up to Selwood to, it's break in case of emergency type bloke, throw him in there and get the dub. Everyone else is chipping in. Everyone else is chipping in.
I mean, even as the season's worn on, like, as we discussed last week, Tom Stewart hasn't really been the same since he came back.
Hasn't needed.
They just evolved.
Yep.
They got rid of an All-Australian defender and haven't lost since. Like, it's absurd.
I mean, it's the Tom Atkins. It's these blokes that are just lifting above and beyond their weight and really adding credence to that importance of team structure that is pushing Geelong here to what is going to be their first flag in a good 10 years. So it is Geelong for mine, 1-39. That's my official tip, if you don't mind. Now, I had a look at Norman. I had a look at first goal. Tyson Stengel. We're talking about narrative bets. That's massive. Massive for him, going from the scrap heap, playing in a Sandford grand final last year, rocking up in an AFL Grand Final this year. I'd love to know if anyone else has ever done that.
I don't think. I legitimately don't think so.
I wouldn't have thought so.
Eddie Betts said it's some sort of record broken to get an All-Australian jacket from doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But again, he wasn't delisted because he wasn't good.
That's
Like
I didn't want to say it.
Let's steady. I think we all know all Crows fans will know the reason why Tyson Stengel unfortunately had to depart Adelaide, and equally why he's flourishing so much at
But good
Geelong.
on him. Good on him.
Exactly.
We do love a success story. That's a very good outcome.
And look, he was on fire. He was dangerous. Every time he got near the ball on the weekend, he was dangerous. So I've got Stengel at $11 for first goal. Also, look, I said it last week. I'm doubling down on it. Luke Parker, Norm Smith medal. He had a goal in 23, I think it was, against the Pies. Massive, huge. So chuck them together.
The strings. Yeah.
No, it's Luke Parker.
What do you mean? I don't get it. What are you talking about?
Oh right, yeah. No, Dylan Shield. Yeah, I get.
Yeah.
Woo. Yeah, I get.
Yeah. So Rick flaring his way into it.
Yeah, very funny.
No, it was Parker.
I cannot believe your brain is working at that level.
He's doing well.
Amazing.
He's doing better than I
Nice work.
expected. Good boy. Well done, Desmond.
Thank you.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you. Parker for Norm, in my honest opinion. Look, Dangerfield absolutely is going to be frothing at the dinger to get himself a Norm and a premiership medallion.
Yep.
So
Love him not to.
your smart money is on Dangerfield. That's safe money, but Luke Parker at $10. He is that midfield general, as you said. I can't go past him. So Stengel, first goal. Luke Parker, Norm. Put those together. It's paying $132 odds.
It's not bad.
Just those two is a little two-legger. Not too bad. Speaking of bets...
I can get behind that.
That's worth a dabble. Speaking of bets, I do have a little multi. Well, I've thrown it together as a multi. You can pick and choose these legs at your own preference. Do what you want with them, but I'm frothing on the odds on all of these. Now, first off the bat, Gary Rowan, anytime goal if you don't mind. He's decided just to have himself a nice little final series.
He has.
Dangerous as hell in front of the sticks. And
Huge kick.
he's got a
He has a cannon.
genuine.
A hog.
A genuine hog and a cannon. So Gary Rowan, anytime goal for mine. Will Hayward, your boy Dan, didn't get the chocolates last week. Didn't need to.
He might kick the first goal.
There's
That
dumber
genuinely
ideas.
wouldn't surprise me.
There's dumber ideas, but I'm backing him to return to form this week. Will Hayward, anytime goal. Grand mash for an anytime goal. And
Currently paying $1.85.
rude, isn't it? I saw him at $1.90 earlier on a particular betting agency.
Yep.
Yeah,
Coming off 2 goals on the weekend.
Yep.
Unusual.
Rude, but that's fine. Hey, that means good odds. Get around that. So Brian Myers, anytime goal. I've also got Paddy Dangerfield, anytime goal. He's going to have his 2 and 28 again, I would have thought at some stage.
Yep.
Speaking of danger, 20 disposals for the danger man. Mitch Duncan, 20. He's not dipped under that, I think, in the past month, 5 weeks. And Ollie Florent, Mr. Consistent for that Sydney Swans midfield to have 15 touches. I think he had 18 on the weekend. He's not dipped under 15 in a good 6, 7, 8 weeks, somewhere in there. That is my 8 that I really like the look of. All up, paying $13.
Beautiful. You stole Hayward and Myers off me. I did have those two
Grand mash.
down. But I also have Brad Close for a goal.
Oh.
As either him or Myers. You've got to take one or the other. Usually...
Por qué no los dos?
You can if you want. I don't like that, but you can absolutely do that.
He's
$1.67. I've got Zach Guthrie for 15 plus disposal.
Oh.
Now he's
Hermit Guthers.
Zach.
Oh.
Not homeless.
Oh, that's a shame.
Brother.
Barbie doll Guthers.
Yes, Barbie doll Guthers. He has only dipped under 15 once in his last 6 games.
Really? There's a stat.
$1.76 odds for 15. I like that. I've got Jimmy Rowbottom for 20 plus because he just does it week in, week out. You didn't say that, did you?
I did not say the bot.
Lovely. So there you go.
That's fantastic from you, Dan.
That's what I'm liking.
That's nicely done. Boys, that's been wonderful. Look at that.
Enjoyed that.
We got through. They said we couldn't do it.
They said we couldn't.
Look at them now. Where are they? Yeah. Nothing. Nowhere.
Where am I?
Yeah. Answers on a postcard, if you can answer that one for Des, send them through to the usual address. But thank you so very much for being with us for season 2022. It's been an absolute blast doing this show. I'm speaking on behalf of all the fellas. Bit of nippage. There you go. Enjoy that, YouTube, you little moderators. No, it's been fantastic doing this. I've had an absolute ball. Thank you for all of your support, please just chuck us a like and a subby. Jump on the socials. Dan, some info around that?
Yeah, Armchair AD on Instagram, Twitter, Armchair Advisors on Facebook. The season stops, but the content doesn't. NFL season has kicked off. I'll be chucking some tips across there. We might get some random stuff from Des together. I would love that. But
I'd love that a lot.
We'll see how we go.
Yep, and I wouldn't mind coming back over the summer and doing a couple of shows, just maybe on some topics that just aren't sport. Just probe the boys' opinions on a few things.
I like it.
Bit of sort of coffee table type chats.
And just before we go, just remember, I want all you guys to comment the style haircut that I'm going to be
Dan
cutting
will not be
Dan's
getting.
hair. Just remember, Swannies win, Buddy goal, Callum Mills 5 touches.
Gee whiz, wow. Yeah, fill your boots with that one. Thank you so very much for joining us. We will see you at some stage, not sure when, but thank you and good night.